Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. This is the newspaper show and I'm Hina Gambhir. Let's get started and tell you what's making headlines this morning as far as the Times of India first is concerned. And the biggest story is about India and China. China, India begin pullback even as NSA foreign minister talk. That's the big story the Times of India today is leading with. It says PLA moves back at trouble spot Pangong 2. First phase of de-escalation has now started. Buffer zone created at PP14 in Galwan Valley, site of June 15 clash. PLA has removed tents and temporary structures from there, pulls back 300 troops and vehicles by about 1.5 kilometers to its own side of the LAC. This is what a source said. Similar steps taken at PP15 and 17A in Gogra Hot Springs as well. Now, how did this happen? Doval Wang finalized plan in a 2-hour discussion. The breakthrough in India's attempts to get Beijing to pull back its troops in Galwan Valley came after at least 2 hours of tense negotiations between National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and China State Councillor and Foreign Minister Wang Yi. That's the big update that we have for you. Apart from this, India gets support and sympathy of international community over Ladakh face-off. So till now, it was only United States of America and Japan backing India's stand as far as this Galwan face-off is concerned. But now we are being told that other countries have started supporting India as well. The centre has been fielding calls from different countries offering support over its standoff with China. Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar spoke to his counterparts from the US, UK, France, Germany, Australia, Canada, as well as Japan. He said, we've got them to understand our perspective and garnered sympathy as well as support. This is what a government source has indicated that Times of India has reported on the front page. Then there is an update about India's COVID count, which is rising fast. India is currently the third worst affected country in the world. And Delhi passed 1 lakh mark. Dip in positivity rate holds hope. Experts point at daily death rate, advise caution. 7 lakh cases are there across the country. 10 days time it has taken for cases to rise from 5 lakh to 7 lakh. 23,340. That's the average number of cases that we have seen in a single day over the past 5 days. This has been the trend. And this is an update about the national capital where you see the test positivity rate, which is at 10%. The national positivity rate is a little over 6% right now. So at 10%, this is much better. Delhi's recovery rate at 71% is also about 11% higher than what's the national recovery rate. But what's worrying is that cases have now crossed 1 lakh mark. 21,944 new cases. National COVID toll crosses 20,000. Now, there is another point of concern that has started emerging, the Times of India has reported. It is about Odisha, Punjab and Goa, which have now emerged as the new hotspots. Odisha, Punjab, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Goa and J&K are emerging as the new hotspots with positivity rates more than doubling in the past month. So this should now be the cause of concern. Testing needs to be increased in these states as well. Final year university exams can be held by September. Unitech board to seek a waiver in a boost for 15,000 home buyers of Unitech. The Supreme Court appointed board is seeking waiver of around 5,500 crore interest and penalties charged by Noida authority. That's another update, news for home buyers specifically. NIA charges suspended DSP. NIA in its charge sheet filed on Monday against suspended J&K DSP Devinder Singh and 2 Hizbul Mujahideen terrorists said that Devinder Singh was being groomed by Pakistani officials for obtaining sensitive information. Maharashtra's eateries to open soon. The restaurants and all that have been shut since March because of lockdown. Women officers, Ministry of Defence seeks times. The Ministry of Defence has sought more time for implementation of the Supreme Court judgment granting permanent commission to women officers in the army, citing delay due to COVID lockdown restrictions. The matter is listed for hearing in the court today. So that's another update. Gold smuggling via special channel. The Customs Department has detained an ex-employee of the UAE consulate for smuggling gold through diplomatic channel at Trivandrum International Airport. Custom officers had seized 30 kg of gold brought as household items in diplomatic baggage from the airport cargo. This happened on Sunday. A forester has rescued 5 deer from Ganga. Rainy days ahead till weekend. That's what the Met Department has said. Had slain DSP accused SHO of links with Dawn. Now, this is related to the Kanpur case wherein 8 cops were killed after they went for an operation to nab a wanted gangster Vikas Dubey. Months before, unwittingly walking into a death trap set by fugitive UP gangster Vikas Dubey, the DSP killed along with 7 other cops in Friday's ambush near Kanpur had purportedly written a letter to his then boss accusing the now suspended Chaubepur SHO Vinay Tiwari of shielding the Don and warning of grave consequences if this was left unchecked. So that's another update that has come here. 3 more UP cops in this case have been suspended. City Road accident turns out to be murder. This is about an accident that happened in northwest Delhi, and now it has turned out to be a murder. Trickle of visitors as monuments reopen after more than 100 days. Finally, the archaeological sites have also started opening. Post apps ban, creators have migrated but fans have not. Docks wedding lights up hospital hostel. Twinkling fairy lights and strings of marigold blossoms transformed the 7th floor hostel room at Sion Hospital as it turned into a venue for the Mehendi and Haldi ceremony of 2 resident doctors there. Sensex gains 1.5 thousand points in July to near 4-month high. Then insurers are ready with COVID treatment rate list. Lastly, Infi charters flight to fly out 76 staff kin from the United States of America. Infosys chartered a flight to bring back 76 employees and their families, a total of 206 people from the United States of America. Now, these are employees whose visas have expired or are nearing expiry. So that's about the latest as far as the Times of India this morning is concerned. Let's now move on and bring to you the latest from the Navbharat Times. और यहाँ पर भी जो पहली खबर है वो भारत और चाइना से जुड़ी हुई है। गलवान में आखिर उखड़ ही गया चीनी तंबू, ये लिखा है नवभारत टाइम्स के आज फ्रंट पेज पर। इसके अलावा 1.5 किलोमीटर तक पीछे हटे चीन के सैनिक। चीन ने कहा अब ऐसा कुछ नहीं करेंगे जिससे तनाव बढ़े। एक तरफ से एक आश्वासन आया है चीन की तरफ से और साथ ही क्रेडिट यहां पर दिया गया है NSA के अटेम्प्ट को। डोभाल की एंट्री और पीछे हट गया चीन, ये नवभारत टाइम्स का कहना है। सेना को मिलेंगे विंटर टेंट और साथ ही कुछ और जगहों से भी सैनिकों की वापसी हो सकती है चाइना की तरफ से। ओली का फैसला अब होगा कल। इस्तीफे के लिए अपनी पार्टी के नेताओं के दबाव का सामना कर रहे नेपाली प्रधानमंत्री केपी ओली का भविष्य बुधवार को तय किया जाएगा। अब भूटान ने चीन से जताया है विरोध, तो ये भी एक इंपॉर्टेंट खबर है। और अगर आपको पंजाब में जाना है तो ई रजिस्ट्रेशन अब करना बहुत जरूरी हो गया है और ई रजिस्ट्रेशन के बाद पंजाब जो भी पहुंचेगा उसको 14 दिन वहां पर होम आइसोलेशन भी जरूरी है। और ऐसा इसलिए किया जा रहा है क्योंकि यहां पर पंजाब में खास करके केसेस कोरोना के अचानक से और ज्यादा बढ़ने लग गए हैं। देश में कोरोना के केस 7 लाख के पार हो गए हैं। दिल्ली में केस 1 लाख के पार हो गए हैं। मंडे को महज 1379 केसेस आए थे और 3 महीने बाद दीदार आप देख सकते हैं सारे जो मॉन्यूमेंट्स हैं एएसआई के वो अब खुलने शुरू हो गए हैं। लोगों का आना भी वहां पे शुरू हो गया है। सुशांत सिंह राजपूत से जुड़ी हुई खबर है। बंसाली से पूछा गया सुशांत से कहां अटकी थी बात। एक पत्रकार ने एम्स में संदिग्ध हालत में कूदकर जान दी। गैंगस्टर पर इनाम 5 गुना हो गया है। विकास दुबे की बात हो रही है और हाईवे टोल पर पोस्टर भी लगा दिए गए हैं। इसके अलावा चहल पहल बढ़ चुकी है। दिल्ली में आईटीओ पर दिखा जाम का नजारा। इस तरह से अब दिल्ली में भी सड़कों पर चहल पहल बढ़ रही है। काफी ज्यादा लोग निकल के अब बाहर आ रहे हैं, अपने काम के लिए जा रहे हैं। हरियाणा में निजी नौकरियों में स्थानीयों को आरक्षण। पाक अधिकारी के संपर्क में था डीएसपी देवेंद्र, ऐसा एनआईए का कहना है। और एक आरोग्य सेतु ऐप से लेकर बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग अपडेट है। अब एक नया अपडेट आया है एंड्रॉइड यूजर्स के लिए जिसमें आप अपना आरोग्य सेतु ऐप जो है वो डिलीट भी कर सकेंगे। दैट्स अनदर अपडेट। और इसके अलावा 8 लाख भारतीयों को छोड़ना पड़ेगा कुवैत, ये भी एक बड़ी खबर है। कुवैत में प्रवासी कोटा बिल के मसौदे को मंजूरी मिल गई है। इसके नतीजतन 8 लाख भारतीयों को खाड़ी देश को छोड़ना पड़ सकता है। ये भी एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट खबर है नवभारत टाइम्स में। लेट्स नाउ मूव ऑन एंड गेट यू द लेटेस्ट फ्रॉम द पिंक पेपर, द इकोनॉमिक टाइम्स। एंड हियर द फर्स्ट स्टोरी इज एन एनालिसिस, एन अपडेट ऑन what has finally happened between between India and China. China starts pulling out troops in Ladakh. India is still cautious. We can't take China on the face value, and that's why there is a sense of caution that is there within the government. People's Liberation Army withdraws troops from Galwan and Gogra. Marginal change in Pangong So, which remains fortified. Disengagement as per agreement between the military commanders. NSA Chinese Foreign Minister talk for 2 hours. One Indian idea on planned buffer zones, deploy police force in place of troops. Then de-escalation process is going to be a long road ahead. PLA's gradual withdrawal from Galwan and other sites is just a start of the complex process. India is aiming for complete de-escalation across the LAC. This is what Pranab Dhal Samanta has reported. Officials said that the pullback needs to be monitored both by aerial reconnaissance and physical verification. That's another important story. And India is cautious. Army is not letting guard down in view of Galwan clash, where Chinese attacked a verification team. Next few days are going to be extremely critical, according to the Economic Times, as India seeks to verify withdrawal of troops and removal of illegal structures as well. So that's about the latest update on disengagement at the Galwan Valley. Now, IT companies want work from home relaxations to be made permanent. Regulatory clarity would help firms optimize operations and quickly move to a blended model. And this is specifically for units operating from SEZs and STPI. RBI checks rupees forward March. Market intervention pulls currency down from a high of 74.51 to 74.69 at close, gaining strength. Rupee versus Asian pair since June 26. We have seen rupees rise of about 1.34% against the dollar, which is higher as compared to other currencies in Asia specifically. Markets rally for fourth session in a row. Rural recovery signs cheered Dalal Street. Early action helped India flatten curve. This is Finmin report on COVID. India has flattened the COVID curve to a great extent with early containment measures. This is what a finance ministry report has said, adding that green shoots have emerged after the curbs were lifted. This report reiterated the International Monetary Fund's June outlook of a 4.5% contraction for India in FY21. Then takers for loan moratorium have declined to less than 30%. Banks are adopting opt-in strategy, assessing borrowers' financial position, advising them on deferment pitfalls. Then rise of the machines help away pricey appliances take over, with most homes making do without domestic help and men stepping into household work. Middle class and upper middle class Indians are buying labor-saving devices and do-it-yourself products in record numbers. This is the trend that has been seen. Lastly, short-term hurdles remain for Tata Consumer. This is what the chairman N. Chandrasekharan has said. So that's about the Economic Times. Let's be more city-specific and get you the latest as far as the Delhi edition of the Times of India is concerned today. And the big story coming from the national capital is what the government has said. The teams will now be scanning zones with zero COVID count. Will include village heads and RWAs as well. So a lot of steps are now being taken to ensure that situation in the national capital remains under control, as the cases have now crossed 1 lakh. We will be going across to my colleague from the national capital in just a bit. We have Sharon, my colleague, joining us. Sharon, good morning. Now, the teams will be scanning zones with zero COVID count as well.
Well, that is right. After setting up a 24/7 war room in the Delhi Secretariat, the next move by, in fact, an approach by the Delhi government is, of course, to constitute a Nagrik Samiti. Now, this will, in fact, be constituted in urban areas as well as in rural areas. In rural areas, the members will, of course, be selected by the village heads and the Sarpanch, whereas in the urban areas, it will be selected by the RWA. Now, the aim of this Samiti is going to be properly testing the people who are living in no COVID cases, area where has not been reported any COVID cases. In order to contain the spread of COVID-19, this is the approach that has been taken by the Delhi government. This team will, of course, be ensuring that people who are vulnerable to the diseases, like to the infection, I beg your pardon, like the senior citizen who have a history of the ailment, or the kids who are in these areas, in fact, there will be a list made of these people, and accordingly, they will in fact be encouraging the members in the area to come up with Arogya Setu app, to install that in their phone. So this is being done to contain the virus, because there is, of course, the number are increasing, but at the same time, the positivity rate has dipped, and there is in fact an increase in the recovery rate. But at the same time, the death toll is rising in the national capital. So that is a concern, and that is why these approaches are being made, are being done to ensure that the COVID-19 infection is contained.
All right. Thank you very much, Sharon, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. Let's now move on to the Mumbai edition of the Times of India. My colleague Arunil is joining us on the broadcast this morning to get us the latest from the Mumbai edition. And the big story is that after hotels, restaurants across state can open as well. We are being told that SOPs are being finalized. Order is expected in the next 1 week. That's the big update here. Now, this at a time when the cases in Maharashtra have crossed the 2 lakh mark, and how in Mumbai city as well, the cases are rising sharply. City death count of 39 lowest in 38 days as state toll crosses 9,000. Mumbai's share in state's COVID tests has fallen a steep 9% in just 1 month. Then increased testing may push up COVID-19 cases. 4 new COVID care centers in city, even as 7,000 beds remain absolutely vacant in Mumbai. That's another story here. Arunil will be joining us in just a bit to get you the latest. Okay, Arunil is with us. Arunil, give us more details.
Well, Hina, as per the Mission Begin Again program of the Maharashtra government, tomorrow, that is Wednesday, we can expect hotels to start in the state of Maharashtra. 33% capacity has been allowed, and all the guidelines have been issued to the hotel industry to ensure maximum safety of the people who will be walking in, basically the customers, and also the employees of the hotel. Now we get to know that similar kind of guidelines are expected for the restaurant industry as well. 33% capacity for restaurants is also expected, and in another 1 week, the SOPs are likely to be issued to 2.1 lakh odd restaurants in the state of Maharashtra. All these restaurants and hotels have been closed for around 3 months, basically incurring losses to the tunes of lakhs of crores. And so it comes as a welcome move for the restaurant industry. However, when I spoke to Mr. Anurag Katiyar, the restaurant chief of Maharashtra, he basically mentioned about it, saying that 33% capacity will be less. We will be requiring 50% capacity at least to make some profit out of the restaurant business. So that whether that demand will be meted out by the Maharashtra government, that looks to be seen. Another important development, Hina, will be the meeting that happened between Sharad Pawar and CM Uddhav Thackeray last night. So in that meeting, it has been decided that there have been some kind of differences that have been coming up between the three parties. So ironing out those differences has been one of the prime agendas of the Mahavikas Aghadi government.
Thank you very much, Arunil, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. Let's now move on to the Kolkata edition of the Times of India this morning. And here also the big story is that how Kolkata is looking like as far as the COVID-19 situation is concerned, and the kind of steps that the government is taking. Bengal is now planning plasma bank to boost COVID fight. My colleague Tamal is joining us on the broadcast for more on this. Tamal, good morning. Health Department is expected to tap potential donors now.
Well, that's right. In fact, Bengal has come up with a plasma bank at the Medical College and Hospital here in Kolkata. The idea is to collect plasma, store them for the future, even though the plasma therapy is still at a clinical stage here in Kolkata, here in Bengal, and there is no confirmed success report as confirmed by the state government. Having spoken to several scientists who are indulged in this entire exercise, they are saying it is too early to confirm the success rate and the success story of plasma therapy, at least in Bengal, but the outcome had been positive, quote unquote. That's what we are hearing. In fact, the reason why the state government has taken a futuristic plan of having a plasma bank in order to have a better, better strength to combat COVID-19 for the future. We also know the state government has formed COVID clubs comprising of COVID survivors, and these clubs will essentially help people who are infected of the virus to live lift their morale, but no one can take away from the fact that they are also potential plasma donors for the future.
All right. Thank you very much, Tamal, for the moment for joining us with all of those details. Let's now move on to the Bengaluru edition of the Times of India. And here, Karnataka virus tally scales 25,000, Bengaluru 10,000. MP Sumalata and Kunigal MLA have tested positive for coronavirus. My colleague Imran is joining us on the broadcast this morning. Imran, good morning. Karnataka is allowing flexible hiring across industry. Give us more details.
Well, yes, as you see that because of the lockdown and also the fear rising cases of coronavirus, many of the migrants have left Bengaluru for not only just from outside states like Jharkhand, Bihar and Madhya Pradesh, but also internally too. Many of the migrants who come to Bengaluru to work in construction industry and various other industry have left Bengaluru for an extended term. Now, there is a scarcity of workers, especially in the construction industry and also in the services industry. And to meet that gap, the government has amended rules where they can, unlike the contract or the permanent system, they are making new rules, amendment to the rules of Karnataka Workers Working Act, where they can hire people for a fixed term, which they will get benefits of what a permanent will get, but after the termination of the contract, immediately they will be relieved from the services. This is what they're looking at to meet the gap as of right now. But many of the trade union industry are saying that this is diluting the workers class rights, and in fact they say that at a time when there is insecurity and there is job losses, this will only make this the fixed term a permanent feature, and you will have hampered their prospects in the future.
All right, thank you very much, Imran, for the moment for joining us with all of those details. Moving on now to the Chennai edition of the Times of India this morning, and here, as far as the test cost of COVID is concerned, Tamil Nadu government has pulled up at least 4 labs there. Custodial deaths case has got an update as well. CBI remains silent on taking up this particular case. And apart from this, 50% government staff to rotate shifts. Union wants 33% strength. Now, city reopens again. And those are the kind of scenes that were witnessed in the city of Chennai. And apart from this, Trichy Hospital is planning plasma therapy. So that is now something that other states are also considering. We've told you about West Bengal, and now here Trichy Hospital is also planning plasma therapy. Coimbator's tally, meanwhile, has crossed 800. Cluster may throw up more cases, and leaders opt for tests, but some trust their immunity. So testing remains a cause of concern there as well. Shabir, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast. Shabir, now 50% government staff to rotate shifts. Union wants 33% strength. What's the latest update there?
Well, that's right. The government of Tamil Nadu has come up with this decision that 50% of staffs will be working at the state secretariat, but the union wants 33% because last time after the lockdown was lifted, there were more number of people who were working at the state secretariat, and as a result, at least 100 cases were reported in the state secretariat. There were members of the chief minister's office who tested positive, and one of them passed away. So this has triggered some amount of fear among government employees. They have been working overtime. The entire government machinery has been working overtime to battle COVID-19. So clearly, there is some amount of hesitation from the government staff having 50% of workers because Secretariat is a place which is always crowded with people from different parts of Tamil Nadu visit there. So they want 33% staff against 50% that the government has decided.
All right. Shabir, thank you very much for the moment for joining us with all of those details. Moving on now to the latest we're getting from around the world. US flexes military muscle at China. Trump's top aide hints US will stand strong with India and Asian allies. Dalai says wishes to visit Taiwan. Taipei says he is welcome. Beijing has arrested top Xi critic plans to crack down on foes. And after COVID spike, Australia closes state border for the first time in about 100 years. Mona Lisa back at work. Paris's Louvre Museum reopened on Monday after a 4-month coronavirus lockdown. Many guides demonstrated outside holding up images of the Mona Lisa to highlight their hardship. Let's now move on and get you the latest from the world of sports. My colleague Karishma joining us on the broadcast this morning. Karishma, good morning. So what's it today? What's making headlines?
Well, Hina, what we understand from the Times of India is that the Indian Super League, that is to kickstart in India from the 21st of November, will be held behind closed doors, and it is going to be held only in one particular region, not all over India like it used to happen in a pre-COVID world. What we understand is Goa and Kerala are going to be two regions that the ISL has shortlisted, in which all matches of this season of ISL will take place. There was a meeting that was conducted yesterday between the Indian Super League chief executive officers, and this is the decision that they came to, that the best way to keep in tandem with the COVID regulations is obviously going to be one, hosting matches without spectators, and second, hosting it in one particular area so that there is a lot of less travel involved now.
Thank you very much, Karishma, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. Let's now move on and show to our viewers the latest as far as the Delhi Times this morning is concerned. TV show shoot halts as crew member tests corona positive, and Delhi's iconic monuments reopen for the public. But here also proper temperature checks and other measures will be strictly implemented. So that's about the Delhi Times this morning. With this, it's a wrap. Thank you very much for staying with us here on the Newspaper Show.